Hi guys, welcome to Office Blokes React. I'm Office Bloke Dave.
I'm Office Bloke Mike.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Together we are the Office Blokes.
Yeah,
it is true. Big fight at the weekend.
Was they?
No, just saying I had a big fight.
Down at the pub, down at Duck.
Yeah.
Probably more entertaining.
Well, we were just talking off camera, and you two haven't seen anything about the fights at the weekend.
No.
I've seen a couple of clips of people talking about it and Instagram reels and things. It looked a bit embarrassing.
Not watched any. They're not boxers.
They're not boxers, are they? So I mean, it's not proper boxing. It's not professional.
I can go
boxing,
to what's that place in Trafford Park here? Bowlers.
Yes.
I'll watch boxing better than this.
Yeah.
On a Saturday night.
It's like watching a charity football match, isn't it?
Yeah,
you do it
I
to
can't do
support
that
a charity or something like that.
I can't. I'll donate the money, but that's it.
Yeah, but
I don't want to watch it.
Watching it, I mean, you look, it's just a bit of fun. You know,
It's
the
Sunday league.
quality's not there or anything, is it? So, you know, they do them at Old Trafford every year, but they raise a load of money. I get that, but I mean, don't bother watching it though because the quality's terrible. And
Well,
you know,
from what I've seen, it's a bit embarrassing. Like Dillon Danis, which I presume we're talking about the Logan Paul Dillon Danis one here because that's who we're showing. He tries to start wrestling him at one point and like goes for a takedown and stuff, and it's like
In a boxing fight.
yeah, it's sort of like it's wrestling, it's WWE. I wouldn't mind betting it's scripted as well.
Yeah, I think that's probably the next step in it from this to WWE.
Well, Logan Paul's already in the WWE.
Oh, he
isn't
is?
he? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't know that.
Well, let's check it out. This is a new channel to us as well. It just came up. So Jamari,
Go for it.
is that? Let's do it. Worst fight ever. Let's do it.
The fight yesterday between Logan Paul and Dillon Danis was absolute garbage. And this picture right here kind of exemplifies how seriously Dillon actually took this boxing match. First of all, let's just state the obvious. The entire time, he only threw around 9 punches total in 6 rounds. This has to be the cleanest shot that he got off all match.
The corner of Logan Paul saying, oh, there's a shot from Danis, hello!
And it was immediately apparent to anyone with a brain that Logan Paul was not going to get knocked out here. He could have stood out there with his chin out and let Dillon punch him as hard as he could, and he would not have knocked him out. And the whole time, Logan is just jabbing him in the face, hitting him with hooks to the body, while Dillon stood back and smiled and laughed in his face, and it really seemed like he was more concerned with getting these various antics in than he ever was with actually fighting. It's like he almost continued the trolling into the ring. And it's one thing if you're a proven fighter who's actually like putting up a decent fight and you still want to showboat a little bit like Nate Diaz did with Jake Paul. But when you can't even throw more than 1 punch per round, the crowd is not going to want to get in on the fun with you. And the trolling just ends up looking really stupid. I mean, he tried to take Logan down and get him into like a submission multiple times. Because to me, everything that he was doing was more for like social media. The Twitter clout had completely gone to his brain. And you know he desperately wanted that picture of him having Logan in a chokehold. I mean, this is how the fight ended as Dillon got disqualified.
Four more punches.
I mean,
in a row
he
afterwards.
wanted so bad.
Hey, 3 more punches there at the end.
know he
than
did,
in the
didn't he?
fight.
Yeah.
That's
terrible.
what makes me think it might be WWE levels of being scripted a little bit. Because exactly that, you know, you're barely throwing a punch and then suddenly a security guard comes in and you try and chin him. What?
Yeah, just watching that little clip there, Logan Paul looks like he's kind of like, you know, serious about it, and like, you know, he's got a great physique. He's got a boxer's physique.
Yeah.
You know,
He's been boxing for. He's been
like
training.
He's
for
been
years.
training. I remember you telling me that, sort of thing. So, you know, I wouldn't disband him from like becoming a boxer. I don't know how old he is.
Yeah,
I think he's mid-20s, isn't he?
So he's still young. You know, he's still young, and he's just these goofy fights. You know what I mean? He's like,
that
goofy,
looked
aren't they?
absolutely terrible. That they did.
Yeah.
It
But
really
is-
did.
A guy
fight
as,
proper boxers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
but a guy as famous as him isn't going to come up through the ranks and
No,
stuff
not now.
and be humbled
No,
like
not
that.
now. It's exhibition fights now.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
it's got to be, because if he goes out and fights an actual legit boxer that's top of his game, he's just going to get knocked out. And it's going to be over.
top
for him.
boxer. Yeah.
And well, he's down. And here we go, broken out to a brawl.
I mean, he wanted so bad to put him in that guillotine like Nate Diaz did to Jake Paul, and it just never happened. He attempted it multiple times. And people were saying that this guy was actually throwing more punches at the security, which he still missed, than he was at Logan during the fight. Like, to me, if he would have just went in there and not got knocked out, even if he only threw 10 punches the entire time, and didn't do all this showboating bullshit, he would probably still have a chance to make another card as one of the main fights. But to me, this just completely destroyed his credibility. He obviously had all these different fighters on his side, and he just made a mockery of the entire event. Like, why is someone else going to want to fight him at this point? If they know there's now a very high chance that he's either not going to show up or just do this type of bullshit for social media. And after talking all that shit, if that's your performance, it's just a terrible look. And obviously Dillon is back on Twitter trying to do his thing. He's going to ride this one clean punch that he got into oblivion. As you can see right here, total punches landed 108 for Logan Paul and 16 for Dillon. Of course, the memes have also begun. Dillon Danis on social media versus Dillon Danis in real life. Of course, Logan came through with his usual cringe speech at the end of the event.
You look the devil in his eyes and you do what I did tonight, and you eliminate that bitch from your life!
I mean, the way he's talking, you would have thought he just went 12 rounds with prime Mike Tyson. But we do have to give credit where credit is due, and shout out to Logan for winning this fight. He obviously took this very seriously. I was actually expecting him to get the knockout because Dillon was literally just standing there with his hands up, letting Logan do whatever he wanted. Like I said, he only threw like 9 punches and none of them had any sort of power behind them at all. I actually think the better fight here would have been Logan Paul versus Tommy Fury, because it's like 2 big buffed up dudes who on the surface look like they should have some serious power, but they just cannot knock anyone out. And I'm guessing that Dillon has seen this whole thing as some sort of moral victory, because he continued with his Twitter antics saying, "Where's everyone that said I wouldn't last a round? Even Joe Rogan called me Ben Askren." And then the trolling just continues. The Dillon on Twitter versus the Dillon we saw in the match. People are saying he's the definition of a keyboard warrior. Bro got cooked. Logan comes in and says, "Honestly, nothing to be proud of. That dude sucks. A real. I'm gonna go back to living my life, but felt good to beat his ass for 6 rounds and let him embarrass himself, drink prime." And obviously Dillon is still making excuses here. He says, "The jiu-jitsu guy with no boxing camp or coach made his debut, never wobbled, never dropped, had no standing 8 count, and rocked you multiple times. If I were Nina, I'd call off the wedding. You achieve nothing in your own sport. MMA next." And the thing is, guys, the troll arc just does not...
That is the only move there, is get him in an MMA match. No.
We said it before, 2 very different sports, aren't it? So like go from MMA to boxing and boxing to MMA.
Yeah.
You don't expect the boxer to win the boxing match and the MMA fighter to win the MMA match.
Yeah, which is kind of what's happened so far.
If you put a hockey player with an NFL player and said, right, let's play NFL, the NFL player will succeed. But put him on an ice rink with a top NHL player, and the NHL player is going to succeed.
I think Logan Paul was either like a high school or college wrestler to a high level, so I think he is a skilled wrestler. So MMA, you never know, because now he can box and he could wrestle when he was a kid, but you'd expect the jiu-jitsu champion to just twist him into a pretzel, wouldn't you?
And that, like I say, saying about WWE being infiltrating the thingy, that speech at the end was right out of WWE, wasn't it? Saying, that bitch and
the devil in the eye, all that kind of thing.
It's just so dramatic, isn't it?
I mean, that was pretty sort of like arranged, I think, without a doubt.
I think the outcome of the fight was probably preordained. To be honest, throw a couple of punches at me, I'm just going to punch you, you defend, and then it's not boxing. Let's cause some drama at the end.
Rounds as well.
It's not boxing.
But I don't know.
At work when you went in there and got whooped. He even goes on to say UFC next. And to me, it's just like, why would they want to work with him at this point? Give him an opportunity when it's way too unpredictable to know what you're ever going to get out of him. I just really think this guy had this golden opportunity here. He didn't even have to win. All he had to do was like truly compete and not make a mockery out of the entire thing. Yes, he could have tried like one little guillotine, one little, funny moment within the fight. That all would have been okay. Like, he actually had a lot of people going for him, and then he just made himself look stupid. I do have to say though, guys, when it comes to this influencer boxing, I feel like these fights are really just getting worse and worse. Like, at first it was pretty cool. You were seeing people you didn't like getting knocked out. But now these latest ones have really just been trash. But I want to know what you guys thought about this fight down below. For me personally, it was just really a big disappointment. With all the build-up and all the anticipation and all the shit-talking between these two, it just did not live up to the hype in any way. Like, we could have at least seen Dillon get knocked out, or at least seen him actually try and fight Logan back a little bit, but we really didn't get any of that. Like, we really just got a very boring 6 rounds. Either way, I do want to thank you guys for watching today's video, dropping a like and subscribing. But as you guys know, it's been your boy, the Tan Superman. And some other internet news out here needs to be covered, so I'm out.
Nice.
Yeah, same opinion as what we've got, really. Isn't it?
I guess so, yeah.
It's a shit show now, boxing. It really is.
Yeah, ones like that are just absolute waste of time, aren't they?
I don't classify them as. If someone said to me, "Did you watch the boxing fight?" and I'd be like, "Was it that one? That's not a boxing fight.
No,
it's a charity exhibition match."
From what,
like you said,
yeah.
From what I've seen, the KSI Tommy Fury one was more of a boxing match. Like they were actually throwing digs at each other and stuff. Although I've only seen very short clips of that as well. But
I still won't bother with that.
Well, no, it's still, if you watch KSI throwing punches, it's kind of, his arms are out here, you know, and he's just going in like that.
Swinging a bit.
You know, I'm not saying I could do better.
No, it's just celebrity boxing match, isn't it? You're not a boxing either, though.
No, I'm not.
You know what I mean? So it's like you're not anticipating, you're not expected to be in there performing at heavyweight with a heavyweight.
I think that Dillon Danis tweet of saying he's a jiu-jitsu fighter. He had no training camp. He had no coaches.
What's he been doing then?
Yeah, why?
Yeah.
Well, you've had months to prepare for this fight, and it's probably the biggest payday he's ever had in fighting.
Get you paid a lot of money for it as well, no doubt. So
why wouldn't you have a camp?
If you jump into like a blue collar event, for charity or whatever, you still go to the gym and get a trainer.
Yeah,
of course, you do a bit, wouldn't you? So you know what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
The only one people don't is that street yard beefs, is it called, or backyard beefs? Have you ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
Where it's just like anyone can just fight.
We watched one on there, didn't we?
Did we?
I think we reacted to one ages ago.
It's kind of like an outdoor octagon, and people just stood round, and people go from not being able to fight to some people can fight. You just do whatever you want.
Yeah, it's a joke. Wow. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.